going on in Williamston here over the past few months? What some of the big news people may have missed is?
Sure, I don't think anybody missed it, but one of our biggest news we have so far this year is Ingles is coming to Williamston, which is that's big news. We've been without a grocery store for 20 years now, or in excess of 20 years, and having that anchor in our downtown is going to be very, very important. And so we look forward to them coming here. They should start construction, we would guess, probably the next 6 to 12 months. So we're very excited to see that.
And do you know when they'll be open?
They have not given a timeline yet, but we know that Ace Hardware has 6 months to be out, so they're constructing a new facility now on Hamilton Street, and so they're looking forward to their being in their new facility, and we're looking forward to having them there, and thankfully they're remaining in Williamston. Ace Hardware has been a great asset to our town. It's super nice to be able to run the hardware store here in town, so they're going to remain, and we're super excited to see that.
Do you know what other businesses are going to be in that complex with Ingles there?
Well, we know that Rains on Main, they're going to continue. That building we know will remain, as well as MVP Pizza. Rains on Main scheduled to open, I believe, 1st of August, end of this month, 1st of August. We're super excited about that. They're the same folks that are downtown Anderson, as well as they have Rains on Broadway, and this will be a new franchise for them here in Williamston. Same food, same menu, so we're looking forward to that as well.
Any other new businesses in Williamston over the last
We've got rumor that a bakery's coming, so we're looking forward to that. It's something we haven't had, and I've had some of their cupcakes, and they're outstanding. I would compare them, I would put them up against any other bakery in Anderson County. They're really, really good, so that's something else we're excited about.
And what about other economic development news? You were saying that something is really breaking even as we're meeting here.
Sure. So I just met and signed a contractual agreement with Hunter Quinn Homes. They're looking to build 30 plus homes over on Brock Lane that'll be along our trail system. That'll have a trailhead in it. It's got a lot of green space, and this is going to be your second and third home buyer price range. So you're talking $300,000 plus homes in that area. So we're super excited to see that. That's going to be much needed growth for the town, and hopefully the construction will start on that pretty soon as well. That still has to be approved by council. We expect that to happen on July 12th at our next regularly scheduled council meeting. In addition to that, we've got roughly 60 to 90 homes going in on Mahaffey Road and East 1st Street. That's a piece of property the town's owned for many years, and it's been grown up in wooded area. So we completed a major sewer project over in that area, and was able to attract a group to come in and build homes there as well on town-owned property.
You grew up here, you're from here. What did you ever expect it to be this kind of demand for housing in Williamston?
No, we've always been a bedroom community, and I think we'll still continue to remain a bedroom community. You know, it was great to be able to get out and walk everywhere you wanted to go. I remember that back in the day, your parents had one car, and mom and dad was going to work. You walked everywhere you needed to go. You walked to the pool, you walked to the store, and I think we're starting to see a resurgence of that becoming a walkable community, especially with our trail system we got going. We're looking to expand those out, connect those over with the school systems, sidewalks and trails, and then ultimately connect our three towns together. As a matter of fact, Mayor Sanders and Mayor Ragland and myself signed a resolution in support of connecting the three towns together via bike trails down Depot Street. That would be the ideal location to be able to connect all three towns together, so you could, in theory, come out to Mineral Spring Park, enjoy the day, and as the evening wore on, you could bike back to Pelzer or West Pelzer, or go down and have a picnic by the river, or go kayaking. I think it's very important that we're able to have a community that we can get out and do things, exercise, and be a part of. We're three towns, but we're one community.
How important is that to development and growth to have that kind of, because that's unusual to have three towns that cooperate together? Sure.
Well, Blake and Will and I, we've been friends for a long time, and even before we became mayors, and I'm the oldest. Blake's been mayor the longest, and Will's the most artistic, I guess. So we all have a little something we bring to the table, and we work extremely well together. Everything from our festivals to events to just day-to-day operations. If there's something I need, I know I've got two folks I can pick up the phone and call, and we're the same way. If they need something from us, they pick up and call. We arrange our events to where, particularly like our 4th of July event, when we had it, we were able to go to Pelzer for the first half of the day, then come over to Williamston for the second half of the day for the fireworks, which is a tremendous success.
And you're talking about trails and sidewalks and stuff. That stuff's not cheap.
It's not cheap at all. Most of the time, we depend on grant funding for those type things, and obviously they even require a match on those. But we're starting to look outside the box and try to find other ways to be able to fund the Trails program. Again, we're on a pretty aggressive timeline on what we want to see happen, and I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised in the next 12 months to see some expansion of those trails.
And back to the growth a little bit, I meant to ask you, some of the growth has been thanks to, you said there was a cooperative effort with the county and Williamston for sewer and what, that's another one of those things nobody likes to think about that costs money, but wastewater and sewer, you said there was a partnership there that would help.
Yeah, so since the 80s, the county has owned 300,000 gallons of capacity in our sewer plant. Our sewer plant is rated at 1 million gallons per day. That's what is permitted by DHEC at 1 million gallons per day. And with the growth we're seeing, sometime in the very near future, we either have to expand our plant, which means millions of dollars to be able to do that, or we'll end up with a consent order, which is ultimately a moratorium on building construction in town. That's not good for the county. That's not good for us either. We were able to reach a deal to be able to buy that capacity back. It's unneeded capacity by the county. So, you know, thankful to Cindy Wilson and our other council members and Rusty Burns, we were able to come up with a deal whereby the town is able to purchase that 300,000 gallons at a less rate than what it would take us to expand our plant for that 300,000 gallons. Again, they don't have a need for it. We have a need for it. If we have a moratorium in place or a consent order, county is not able to collect additional taxes from new development. We're not able to develop. We're not able to grow. So we're very excited to see that deal come to fruition, and I expect that to be voted on next county council meeting.
As a mayor, how important, I mean, I guess, you know, you've been on the job now going in your past half a year or more, and of course you're on council before
Sure.
that. How important are those partnerships with county council? And
relationships are key to anything you do, whether it be your business community, whether it be construction, whether it be your neighboring jurisdictions. I'm just one guy. I can't do the things that I want to do without help, and that our community needs without help. Our county's been a great partner. The other two municipalities around us have been great partners. Even Honeypath and Belton. If there's things we need, we pick up the phone and they know they can do the same. Just being able to pick up the phone and call somebody and find out, hey, we're experiencing this problem. How did you guys deal with it? If we're able to talk and communicate, we serve our residents much, much better. And again, I'm just one guy. There's no way in the world I can accomplish the things that my residents expect us to be able to accomplish on my own. So those relationships are extremely important. I found that out a long time ago in business, but they're even more so in government.
well, we're coming out of COVID, and I know y'all have had some events here. You had the 4th of July. You've had some other events in Williamston recently. How are we looking going forward? We got Williamston Spring Park is one of the oldest state parks in the country.
If not the oldest.
If not the oldest, yeah.
Right.
I was going to say
Park.
argue. Public park, not state park. Public park, yeah. Let's talk about the events that are coming up here in the next few months out there. I know the biggest one's hopefully Springwater.
Sure. Even like right now, day to day, we've got some activities that are going on that have not been going on in the past. For example, if you look out there in the park, you'll see a taco food truck. That gives people options. If they got kids out in the park or they're out in the park and they decide they're hungry, they can participate in those food trucks. So we've got food truck vendors coming out to the park on a daily basis. Lots of good things happening. We've got pickleball courts that are going in. Council has approved funding to install new pickleball and basketball courts. Those, I expect construction start on those any day. We just have finished up moving the wall, the mural wall from Palmetto Middle School over to the park. And a little bit about that mural wall. That mural, some people call it the alien creatures because they look a lot like alien creatures. It's definitely 50s style of art that's been on Palmetto Middle School, was Palmetto High School and then Palmetto Middle School since the 50s when it was built. We had engineers and construction folks say that it's not likely that wall could be moved, and so the district was very hesitant to attempt to move it. And so I had conversation with the superintendent, and he agreed to allow us to move it to Mineral Spring Park. And so we made that effort, and we were successful in that effort. It's now going to be the backstop and the focal point of our pickleball courts. So it's historic, it's functional, and it's artistic. In addition to that mural, we've built walls out to the left and right of that mural that total 144 linear feet of block wall, 7 foot tall, that we can have local artists paint on that wall and add a splash of color to the park. As far as events, our next scheduled event will be the Spring Water Festival. That is the 4th Saturday in August. It's going to be actually Friday and Saturday. We got a lot of good activities, from arts and crafts to amusement rides to bands coming out. You got gospel stage throughout the day, and you got they'll have bands booked for the evening on both days. So we're looking forward to that. For the first time ever, you'll actually be able to come in and after 6 o'clock and actually have a cold beer at a concert if you desire to do that. We don't advocate participation of alcohol, but if you're so inclined and that's what you want to do, it'll be there and available for you.
And that festival draws people from all over.
It does. It draws people from all around. Historically, Spring Water Festival in the last, I would say, 5 or so years, they've seen a decline in attendance, and that can be for a number of different things, but we've looked at other jurisdictions and what they're doing, Greenville, Spartanburg, Simpsonville, Anderson, and we're trying to figure out where we fit in that mix to be able to attract folks that are my age group to be able to come out and attend the festival. And there's something for everybody there. Historically, it's been mainly geared toward, I felt like, younger kids and older adults. So this will, having the events in the evening, extending those hours, allowing folks to have a cold beer if that's what they want to do, is something new, and that's something we think that will attract folks my age group that normally would go to Greenville or somewhere else for an event. So we got that coming up, and then we got immediately following that, the week following that, we have the Hot Air Fair sponsored by the Cancer Association of Anderson. Thank you. Angie Stringer and Ryan Hulon, they're coming out. We had that last year on the books. COVID hit, and they still took flight with the balloons that day, unannounced, mind you. And we had hundreds and hundreds of people came out with no advertising whatsoever. So this year we're going to go all out with advertising and make sure folks know what's going on. And we're working with, again, Mayor Sanders and Mayor Ragland, Pelzer and West Pelzer, to come together. And we're going to try to make this an all-3 town events. They may take off balloons in Pelzer or West Pelzer, land in Williamston, and vice versa. So it's really going to be about bringing all 3 communities together for a great cause. And certainly our local cancer society, our association, is a great cause. They help a lot of people around here. So you got that coming up, and then you got Halloween will come up, so you have Boo in the Park. And then obviously our Christmas festival is going to be phenomenal again. We have the Christmas in the park is just magical. There's nothing like it
Anything big
anywhere in the
for
upstate.
changes for Christmas in the park?
Well, we hope to have some new, hope to change things up a little bit as far as decorations, some new and improved stuff. You know, it kind of gets monotonous when you put the same old stuff up year after year. So we hope to see some improvements there. Our town workers do a great job, and volunteers that come out and help hang those decorations. Some people wonder, they say, it's just now, Halloween just now, why in the world are you putting up Christmas decorations so early? Well, if you've seen all the lights and stuff that we put up and all the stuff that goes, all the work that goes into it, you have to start early or you don't get it done.
And people like to see it early.
They do. It's an exciting time. There's nothing like especially being a kid, but even as a parent, it's nothing like being in the park at Christmas time.
In other town news, you got a new fire chief.
We do have a new fire chief. His name is David Huff. He comes with many years of experience in the fire service. He was fire chief at West Pelzer Fire Department for a number of years. He was assistant chief at Clear Spring Fire Department in Greenville County for a number of years. So we're excited to have him on board. He started his duties on Monday of this week. So we welcome him aboard and can't wait to see all the good stuff that comes out of our fire department. They had a car show at our 4th of July festival. It was a real big success, had lots of cars there, and so it was a lot of fun.
But having a new fire chief is a big deal here. A lot of people don't realize.
It is. I think at last count, the best we can articulate since our fire department was founded, we've only had 6 fire chiefs. So I think David's going to make the 7th one. Hopefully he'll stick around as long as the rest of them have. He's our first paid fire chief. Everybody else has been volunteers, and you know, finding somebody coming and step in that role with the responsibility that comes along with all the standards and stuff you have nowadays with the fire service. We're grateful to Steve Ellison. He did that for free for a number of years for our community for many, many years, and it's just not something you can get for free these days. Unfortunately, people have jobs and they have to provide for their family. So we made that a full-time position, and David accepted, and we're glad that he did. We're glad to have him on board.
And public safety is one of the biggest things a town has to provide.
Public safety, if you look at our police department, that's 1/3 of our entire budget. And that doesn't include the fire department. So the town council and myself, we put a great emphasis on public safety. It's important to us. It's something that we want to make sure that our residents feel safe. Number one, they are safe, but number two, that they feel safe. And that should we have a disaster or some type of emergency situation, that we're able to handle it.
Well, we're talking about the town hall. We mentioned this before, I think, that y'all have a town hall here that y'all don't just use for meetings. Y'all let the community take part and use this as well.
Sure. So town hall, this is a very spacious building. We're very blessed to have this building. You got an auditorium that seats maybe 300 people. It's a big auditorium that's rented out quite frequently for weddings and wedding receptions. We've got 2 large banquet rooms that are rented out oftentimes for baby showers, birthday parties, things like that. But we also have a conference room that was renovated in February. We began renovating that conference room. It had old pink carpet and it was just very dated. We brought that into the 20th century, 21st century rather. We have a smart board in there. We have new smart screen TV. We have a new conference room table, new chairs that are in there, nice boardroom style chairs. And that's available, that conference room is available to any business that's located in the town of Williamston that may need to conduct interviews or HR stuff, that they don't have a conference space. That's available to them free of charge. They just have to call town hall, let us know when they want to use it, and they're more than welcome to it. We have everybody from counseling services. We have some marriage counseling comes in and uses that room on Saturdays. We have drug dependency counseling takes place in there. We have McDonald's will come through when they'll have a job fair. So they'll invite people over and they'll conduct their interviews there in that space. So it's a really nice space to be able to use for our community.
And also right here in your community, you have the school district office. Is that relationship important to the town? And
that relationship is tremendously important. I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was out in the park and I noticed the Anderson School District 1 bus there, and you had Student Nutritional Services out there handing out meals to local kids in the park. So I would recall that they did request to be able to do that and didn't think a whole lot about it. But when you're out there seeing them making a difference in the community, that, you have to think about it. That may be the only hot meal that child gets a day. And so those relationships, everything from the things they do in the community like that to our partnership that we have with them with our recreation program. They own the ball fields that we use to be able to play ball. We have a lease on those fields from the school district for $1 a year for 20 years. So we improved those ball fields, and they just recently extended that lease and gave us a new 20-year lease, which allows us to be able to request more grant funding through PARD to be able to upfit those fields and get them to where they need to be, in the shape they need to be in. A little bit about our recreation program. Our recreation program, headed by B.J. Tompkins, is a growing program. We serve about 800 kids, young adults, in the Tri-City area, but not only Tri-City area, the Pelzer, West Pelzer, Williamston area, but also Fountain Inn, Simpsonville. We've got Belton. We've got kids from all around that participate in our program, and it's a first-class program. They do a really, really good job. But only 9% of those kids that participate are Williamston residents that live in the town. So we know that we're providing a benefit not only to the residents of Williamston, but also outside that area, encompassing the northern area of Anderson County. And we're grateful to do that. We know that those kids that are able to get out, participate in sports, learn things like teamwork, how to work well with others, they're going to be more productive citizens of society. And ultimately, studies have shown that they do better in school. They're less apt to get into trouble. So we think that our recreation program is very important to us. We know that it is. And
it's in full swing now, too.
It's in full swing, yes. Right now we have baseball, softball, travel ball, soccer. Soccer's ran by Palmetto Soccer Association, but we work closely with them, the town does. But we got a lot of good things going on as far as recreation, things for our youth to do. Again, I expressed my desire to be able to see something for our kids to do and for them to get out and actually have activities to be able to participate in.
And one of the things you've done since you've been mayor is made an effort to really promote Williamston through social media. And that's going to be the best place for people to find out.
Sure. So, we've got a town Facebook page. We've always had that. Not a lot of contents have been put on there, but we've made a conscientious effort to try to make sure that that we're promoting all of our events, things that are taking place, informing our community. Social media is huge to be able to inform our community of things going on, whether it be a road shutdown due to culvert replacement, or whether it be a water leak areas to avoid, or whether it be positive things. Hey, we just had this happen in town. Let's celebrate these successes. It's always great to be able to have our community be able to celebrate those successes with us. If we don't tell the story, people aren't going to know, what effort's being put into the good things that are happening. It takes a lot of effort to make good things happen. They don't just happen by happenstance. There's a lot goes into it, and I think it's important that our community and our surrounding area knows what goes into making those things happen.